So, next up, I have Dantes Inferno, which is really fun. I don't know if I've heard a whole lot of people talk about this game, but I had a lot of fun with it. It's not at all like Dantes Inferno. The poem, the Divine Comedy by Dante Alighieri, basically no relation to this whatsoever. But if you don't look at it as... If you just look at it as a name and pretend it has nothing to do with the big poem at all, it's really quite fun. And graphically it's really good too. I was surprised. But I haven't heard too much about this. I don't know if it was critically panned or if it was, I don't know what the story was with this one because, like I said, I got back into gaming, so to speak, kind of when I got my PlayStation 3, because I had been out of it for a while. I've been just playing Warcraft or something, but so I didn't hear much about a lot of the earlier PS3 titles, but I had a lot of fun with this one, and that's all there is to say about that, I guess. Darksiders, what little bit of it I played, it's not what I was expecting. I was expecting a medieval fantasy RPG, which this seems to be kind of a hybrid of medieval and... I don't know. What little bit of it I played, maybe I'm just not far enough into the game at all yet, but what little bit of it I played kind of reminded me of Prototype. So, who knows? Yeah, it could be fun if I played more of it, but like I said, what I played, it feels like Prototype, and when I popped it in, I wasn't in the mood for Prototype. I was in the mood for a RPG fantasy game. So who knows? This is Dark Souls, and I haven't played it yet because honestly, when people talk about this, I find it a little bit intimidating. And I'm sure it's not that hard either. Like, I know it can't possibly be that hard. Because I remember playing, there's old PC games that were just brutal, and I'm sure this is easier than that. But, I don't know. I just haven't been in the mood for something really hard lately. So, I just haven't gotten to it. We'll see how hard it is when I do get to it, I guess. Next up is Deus Ex, I think. And it is very fun, or Human Revolution, I should say. Deus Ex Human Revolution, which is a prequel to Deus Ex, which was a PC game, and I believe it was also, well, I don't believe, I have it. I know it was also ported to the PlayStation 2. So, this was fun. It's a really in-depth game, and I think it should have got more critically appraised than it did. I mean, it was really good. It's as good as... I'd say it's as good as Mass Effect. Maybe better. It's very steampunky, very kind of cyber steampunky, I guess. And it's a really good story. It's got a lot... It's really deep. It's a really deep game, and I really like that about it. I don't know how much more I can say about it. There's just so much story. I don't know where to begin to talk about this game. It's a very awesome game. So, anyways, like I said, the style kind of reminds me a bit of Mass Effect. It's a little more linear, maybe. The way it plays out isn't more linear, but your options as far as, like, you're not recruiting anyone to your crew, and you're not, kind of, there's no moral code, I don't remember there being a moral thing in it. But, maybe that's just what I'm thinking of. There's the moral thing. Anyways, it's fun. I would definitely, that's one of the games I would say you definitely need to pick up if you haven't checked it out yet. Next is Dirt 3, and it's okay. I mean, if you like rally racing, it's pretty good. It starts off easy, and then it gets harder and harder. Well, I mean, I guess that's how all games are, but it gets hard suddenly, I noticed. The racing is way too easy. The actual racing part of it. And then the drifting, it gets hard and stuff. But it's fun. It's gritty, I guess is the way I'd put it. And I liked it. And this is the complete edition. I always like getting the complete edition of things because I just know. I just know that in, you know, what am I going to do with all this downloadable content in, 15 years when my hard drive dies and the PlayStation Network isn't up anymore? But if I have it all right on the disc, then I know that I'm not going to get fucked eventually, basically. So, I like to get those, or wait for those when they're there. So I've been waiting for the Game of the Year edition of Skyrim, or Complete Edition, which I'm sure they'll release at some point, to pick that game up. Dragon Age Origins. And I was just speaking about Complete Editions. I should pick up the Complete edition of this, which was, I believe there was one. It had the Awakening disc or whatever in it. Of course, I could just get the Awakening disc too, I guess. They released the DLC on a disc, I think, is how that worked. But like I said, this also predates, when I got my Ps3, so I don't know a whole lot about the backstory of it. But I had a fantastic time with this game. I put a ton of hours into this game. It's a third-person fantasy RPG, and it's just my cup of tea. It's just my kind of game, really. And I just loved it. I don't... there's dragons and a lot of cliche fantasy elements to it, which I really enjoy that. Like I said, it's my kind of thing. And there's also a moral system in it, which is really cool too. I had a hell of a lot of fun just making a mage, a female mage that's just a badass. And I don't know. In these type of games, I like to make badass females as my main characters. I'm not sure what that's about, but that seems to be enjoyable to me for some reason. Next here we have Fallout New Vegas, which I haven't played too much of it. I don't know. These types of games, I know a lot of people really like Bethesda games, but to me, they feel very barren for some reason. And maybe that's what people like about them, but it's not really my thing. I like more of a sort of rich world in my games, but if you like a lot of interactivity with your worlds, there is a lot of that. And a lot of choice. There is a lot of that too. But like I said, there's just so much barren land in this that for me personally, on a personal level, I don't like them as much as other people like them. I do enjoy them, but I guess it's kind of for me, I play a lot of games, so I don't necessarily want an atmosphere that sucks tons of time to just get around in. The only exception to that really is when I play World of Warcraft. That seems to be alright for some reason, just the MMORPG element maybe. But this, since you're alone, I don't know, it feels like... I know a lot of people like these types of games. That's the thing, too. I think it's just a personal thing. But it's good. It's good. Glitchy a little bit. That's another thing. I don't like all the glitchiness this one wasn't too bad. I think Oblivion was worse. I don't know how these are on the PC. Like, I think that's probably part of the problem. It's probably, it doesn't translate that well to console, maybe, is what I'm seeing. I'm not sure. Next, I have The Fight Lights Out, and this is a for the PlayStation Move. It's a PlayStation Move exclusive. I do have the PlayStation Move. I find it way more accurate than the Wii Motion Plus. You know, if you actually play both of them side by side, you'll see that it's much more accurate. Which might have to do with the little glowing balls, or might have to do with the accelerometers. I really don't know. But I find the tracking better than the Move, and I have used a Kinect, and I find it much better than the Kinect. But, I don't know, I haven't played this that much because how often after, you know, a day of working do you want to come home and, you know, really get a nice workout? And this will give it to you. So, if you're looking for that kind of thing, this will give you more of a workout than any stupid Wii Fit game ever will. So, although, you know, you have to pay for the Move, which is, if you want to do it right, and I think this one requires it, you have to use the two controllers, and it's okay. You know, it's like I don't know. It's not for everyone, and it's hard to get in the mood for those kind of things, or at least for me it is. I don't know. Next, I've got Killzone 3. And this is for works with the Move too, but I haven't actually tried that. I enjoyed this game. It's, you know, a lot of people try and praise it as sort of PlayStation's, Halo or something. This game's way different than Halo. It's grittier. It's it's heavier. It feels really, it reminds me a little bit of the game Black on the PlayStation 2 and the original Xbox. And, I mean, that's a good thing. But, I don't know. It's an interesting game. It's like Black if it was Haloized, I guess, is how I'd put it. You know, it's more space-agey and there's mechs and stuff in it. But, yeah, it's just a real heavy-feeling game. So, it's interesting. I've had fun with it. But it's, you know, it's a first-person shooter. So, I think first-person shooters have a lot of variety this generation. And if you like the genre, that's a really good thing. Well, I shouldn't say they have a lot of variety, because a lot of them are very similar. But I would say look for one that fits your style. If you want to play a first-person shooter, look for one that fits your sort of style of play. And for me, I think Killzone, you know, kind of fits that. More so than Call of Duty does, anyways, or SOCOM is the other one I tried. Well, that's a third-person shooter. That one fits my my thing, my play style better than the others. This game I loved. L.A. Noire. This is the complete edition again, like I said, and I'm glad it is because I will want to be playing this game long into the future. You know, I can, if my PlayStation blows up, I'm sure I can find another one at some point. This is just great. A great game. And I played this whole game in like 3 days, and like just non-stop. Just because I was having so much fun with it. I mean, it's not a short game. This includes all the DLC and everything. So I was just, you know, standing at my place, because I stand up when I play. I was standing at my PlayStation, and for just like days, basically, playing this game, just because I was so compelled by the story, I guess. I mean, it's not that the story was so great, it's just that you're so immersed in it. It really immerses you. There's a part of the game you don't have control over that you should have control over how it happens, but I mean, I guess it bridges the story together like how it should, but that left a little bit of a sour taste in my mouth, especially because I didn't understand what was happening at first. But I'm not going to give it away. But this game is fantastic. I would recommend this to anyone, and I don't think it sold very well, or maybe it did, and I know something happened with the developer, Team Bondi, and I don't know if they shut him down, or... Well, I mean, it's a Rockstar game, but they're not who developed it, they just published it, I believe. But yeah, something happened, I know, so I don't know if we'll be getting any more LA Noir-ish type stuff, but I really loved the setting, and the story, and I mean, it was really easy to get into, so definitely pick it up if you're into that kind of thing, decision-making and clue-finding, sort of. And the game has flaws, but any game has flaws, so...